Okay guys, welcome back to our ninth episode in the series, I think. The series is getting quite long, so hopefully this will be our last episode. So let's jump straight back into our display and see what's happening. So, I think all we have to do left, well, that doesn't make sense. All we have left to do is just work on our game menu, so the end of game menu when we have no lives left or we finish the level. We want to display this menu that allows us to look at our score and has a few buttons at the bottom that tells that we can press them that takes us back to the main menu, or that we can start the level again. So we're gonna try and fix that. Hopefully it doesn't take too long, so we'll jump back and straight into Unity and crack on, because I don't want this episode to be too long. So let's see what we have first. So where we left off last time is we got a menu to pop up. I think it was on the last skull that we get to launch, but I think that we still have an issue of it pops up even though you're still playing the game. So as soon as we launch this skull, I think it's still going to pop up straight away. Yeah, so there it is. So when you fix that, we only want to show it whenever whenever we revert back to the new skull. But also we can see here there was another issue. This menu is supposed to be in front of our game, and at the moment it's actually behind. You can see it's behind the slingshot. So let's go ahead and try and fix some of that. So first of all, what we want to do, we want to make changes to our canvas, because at the moment everything is behind our game in terms of our menus. But we really want to bring everything back to the front, except for our background image. Obviously that wants to be at the back, because if it's not, then it will cover the entire game. So let's go and see if we can fix that. So what we want to do is, first of all, let's go ahead and let's go and create a new canvas. And what we're going to do is we're going to have two canvases in our game. The first one's going to be the one we've already created, which is this one, and it's going to have all our score, our lives, and the end of game menu, which is this guy. That's going to be on the first canvas, and the second canvas is only going to have our image representing our background. So we'll change that, and we'll change the name to background image, and then we can go ahead and scale this up so it takes up the full screen. And then we want to go and reassign our image, so that let's go and select our background image like that. And now, if I can remember correctly, is for our canvas we want to change our render mode to our screen space of our camera, and then we need to drag in our camera into there. So now our background is behind the game like it was in our previous canvas, but because we got that on this new canvas, now let's go ahead and delete this background image. So delete that. So now what we can do is, let's see, if we play this, I think everything should be the same, hopefully. So let's just launch this, and then we can check to see if our menu is still at the back. So let's see if we can fix that. Okay, so that is still at the back, so let's see if we can fix that. So for our canvas, let us go and we'll go into, or should we stay? We'll stay in our game mode for now. So for canvas, we'll change this to overlay, and we'll change additional shader to nothing. So now hopefully we can see that the game menu should be on top of everything. So I'm not going to play the game, I'm just simply going to enable that. So now you can see that our game menu is in front of the game objects, or like our slingshot and our zombies and everything. So if we go and play this, you can see that it's in front of everything, so that's perfect, that's what we want. So let's go ahead and, okay, so that's disabled now, so that's perfectly fine, that's working nicely. So what we want to do next is we actually want to go and, if we look at let's jump back in here. If we look at our game over menu, we want to update this score with our actual game score that we have. So to do that, that should be fairly simple. So let's see where we have this. So let us go into our scripts and see. So I think we are controlling everything on our UI manager. So yeah, score text, score count, so that's fine. And then let us jump into our background. So have we got a script on it? No, we don't. Game over panel, do we have a script on that? No, we don't. Okay, so let us add in a script onto one of these. So what script do we want to use? We could probably still use our UI manager, to be fair. So let's go and say, yeah, so we'll do it in our UI manager. So first of all, on our background, let us go and we'll put it on our game over panel. We'll add in our UI manager script on here, UI manager script onto that, or maybe no. Okay, so we'll make another script onto and add the new script onto here. So let's go and create a new script, and we'll call this game over. Yeah, we'll just make it as game over. So we'll create that new script, add that onto there, and then we'll go ahead and edit the script. So here it is. So let's see. There we go, so that's done. So now what we can do is just go ahead and type some stuff in here. So in here what we want is, we want a reference to this text. So I think let's jump into our scene and see. So that is our score. And then we also want a function that we can use to click on these buttons. So let's go and do that. So in here, let's go and say, what do you want? We want serialize field, or import it. So let's go ahead and import Unity Engine .ui. It'll give us access to. We can't use text anymore because we have to use Text Mesh Pro because that's the new update. So we'll take that, and we need to get the updated import. So we'll probably just replace that like that. So that's fine. Text Mesh Pro, and we'll make this as score result. What else do we want? We want some functions for our buttons. So that's fine for now. So let's ask. We can probably get rid of our start maybe for now. We'll probably need the update later maybe, because we need to update the score text. So let's just do that right now. So let's go score result dot text is equal to, we'll keep it blank for now because we will actually need our start function, because we are going to need to access our global script, this guy too, so that we can get the score. So we'll go ahead and put back our start function here, and then we also need to get some references to our global script as well as our global manager. We'll copy that, put that in there. So those errors should disappear. So now in here we can go global dot score, just like that. So now that's going to represent our score, but we need to change that to a string. So let's go and say var score text. If we can type, score text is equal to this global score, but we also want to put final score, and then we will go ahead and add our global score to the end of that. And then for what we want to display, we simply want to go ahead and display score text, just like that. So that should be fine. That should get rid of all the errors. So let's go ahead and see what we need to do in our Unity editor. So I've saved that. Now let's go ahead and drag in some options or our score. So if we click on our game over panel, we've now got this game over script with our score result and our global manager that we need to drag in some text in here. So our score result, let's go and drag that in. That's going to update whenever the score changes, and then our global manager will drag that in there as well. So we'll save that. So let's go ahead and play this and see if that works. So this is probably going to be shown, which is fine. Actually, we'll go ahead and disable that just for now, and then we'll get some points. So we've got 5 points so far. We've got another 8 points, and now as soon as we launch this skull, we should see our score. So there's our score. Final score is equal to 8, which is the same as our on-screen score. So that's fine. So now let's go ahead and work on our buttons. So we'll disable that, and let's go ahead and create some functions to to allow us to press those buttons. So what we want a public, because we need to access it from the Unity editor. So public void main menu, and that's going to change scene to the main menu scene. And then we also want a public void restart game, and in here this is obviously going to just restart the game. So let's go and say restart the game. So in here we need to go ahead and import. So let's go and say using Unity engine.scene management. And then in here we will say scene manager dot load scene, and then we will just reload the exact same scene that we're on, which is game scene. It's called game scene, so we'll just type game scene, so we'll create a variable for that. And then we want to do the exact same thing in our main menu, but instead of game scene we'll type in main menu. So we'll create that as well. So let's go ahead and create some read-only strings, and then we want to create main menu is equal to main menu. I don't know if that's what the scene is called, but we'll double check now. And then for our game scene, we'll change that to game scene, and this needs to be game scene because that is what our game scene is called. So now let's go ahead and check what our main menu scene is called. Do we even have a main menu? I forgot. Yeah, we do. So yeah, it's called main menu. So that's fine. So if we enable that again, we can go ahead and work on these buttons. So our main menu is this guy. So let's go ahead and add an on click on it, and we can drag in our what is it? What's it again? What do we put it on? Game over. So let us where's it gone? So our game over is actually on a game over panel, so we'll drag that into there, and then we will we'll go down and select our main menu. So whenever this button is pressed, it's going to go ahead and call what is it, our main menu function over here, and then we'll do the same thing for our restart button. So whenever, first of all, let's go ahead and select a restart button, add an on click, and drag in our game over panel into there, and then we can select our restart game function. So that's fine. Cool. So let's go ahead and save that. Now let's play the game and see where we're at. So if we play first of all, since the menu is on here, so let's just go ahead and press the main menu button. So that's working nicely. It brings us back to the main menu, and then we can go ahead and play the game, and then we get launched back into the game. And if we press restart, it just restarts the entire game, so that's working fine. So let us go and disable this so it doesn't appear as soon as we start the game. And now let's start the game and see what our game is like. So hopefully now that is the majority of the game finished. So let us have a look. So if we launch our skull, destroys that, that's perfect. Okay, and now let's just keep destroying things until we run out of skulls. So launch the last one. Okay, that's fine. So let's go ahead and restart it. So our score gets set to 0 and skulls get set back to 3. So now we just need to work on that the menu that only pops up after a few seconds, or only when the game is finished, because as soon as you launch your last skull, it's actually popping the game over menu panel onto the screen, and we can't really see what's happening in the scene. So let's find out where we do that. So let's see, I think that's over here. If global.is over, then we set the game over panel to equal to true. So let's see. So if the global skulls is equal to 0 and the skull count is equal to 1, then let's go and say, do we want to put a delay in, or do we want to add another condition? Let's see. Well, let's try this. Let's go ahead and say, and do we have access to our skull? Yeah, we do. So let's go and say, where are we? So let's go and say skull dot velocity is equal to 0. Why can't we do that? So let's say velocity dot x is equal to 0. Let's save that and see what if that works. So we'll jump back into our game. This is probably not going to work, so we might have to just add in like a timer delay, but we'll see if this works. Hopefully it does, because then that means that's pretty much the game done. So we'll launch our first zombie, launch our second one, and then if we launch the last one, okay, so that doesn't work, so we need to get rid of that. So what we'll do is we will get rid of that, and instead of adding another condition, we were just going to add in a second or two delay before we pop that menu up. So where do we do this? In our UI manager, I think. So yeah, so in here we will simply say invoke, which will allow us to add in a delay. So invoke with the name of let's say show game over panel, like that, and then we'll add in probably like maybe like a 4-second delay. So if we go and create this, let us say private void. We'll just copy this so we don't, so it's spelled the same. And then what we'll do is we'll cut this out and just paste this in here. So after 4 seconds, we are going to call the show game over panel function, which should add in 4-second delay. So let's see if that works. Hopefully that works, and that should be the game finished. There are a few things like a pause menu that I'm probably not going to do because it's not really necessary, and I have gone through some of those things in some of the tutorials that I made. So if you want to watch that, go ahead. I can put a link in the description for that. So let's see how this works. So launch our first one, launch the second one, and if we launch the third one, hopefully we don't get the pause menu, so that's fine. So it should pop up after, there we go, perfect. So the game over, final score is 16, we have no skulls left, and then we can go to the main menu or we can restart the game. So we can launch the skulls, so let's check and see if that works again. That was the first one, we've got 2 more. So let's launch the last one, so you can get that zombie. Perfect. Cool. So okay, so final score of 28, and let's go back to the main menu, and that works perfectly fine. So let us go out of here. So let us go and say, where do we want to do it? Let's say file, I think it is. So let's go and build and run our game and see what it actually looks like when we run it from our desktop. Hopefully it works fine. So let's save this to, I want to save it to my desktop for now. Computer's struggling a little bit, so hopefully we can get through this. Save as Angry Zombies. We'll save that there, and hopefully that can build and run fine. So we don't really need to change anything in our script, so we'll go ahead and close that, just so we can get some performance back from it, because save the scenes. Okay, so that's, while that's building and running, let us have a look at our Notion document and see if we have anything left to do. So fix the game over menus, we've done that. Get the buttons working, we've also done that. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for our Angry Zombies series finally. That's taken 9 episodes and probably more than a month to complete, mainly because I haven't really been doing it. But yeah, it should have taken us a lot quicker. But yeah, we're going to start a new series probably in a few days. I think, hold on, let's see. Okay, so that's about a quarter of the way. So if everything goes to plan, we should be starting, let's have a look at and see our series 4. So we should be starting a very simple clone of the very popular bird game called Flappy Bird. And yeah, it should be very simple. I'm planning it to only be 7 episodes, but it should take less hopefully, because it is very simple. It's just a bird that you like bounce up and down, and that has like a constant movement, and it has a few pipes that move across the screen that you have to dodge, and every time you go through the pipes you have, or you get points added to your game. So let's go ahead and see, just give you a quick image of what it is. So this is the game we are going to create in our 4th series. So here it is. All you do is control the bird through these pipes and dodge them, and while you do that, whenever you go through them, you get like an extra 5 points, I think. And the aim of the game is to pretty much see how far you can go. So that's it for that game. So we'll close that, and I think maybe we might just not be able to do this, because I can see my computer struggling very much here. But it's nearly done, so we'll just stick with it and see if we can get it done. But yeah, if you haven't seen already, most Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays I put out a tutorial game on this channel. So if you want to have a look at that, it's basically each episode is focused on one thing. So in one episode we did like a pause menu, in the other one we did like a start menu. We also learned how to pause our game, we learned how to set up collisions, all different things. There's more coming in the future, so if you want to have a look at that, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and obviously give the videos a like if you like them. But yeah, let's go ahead and close our Unity project, because it's struggling a lot, and our game has finished and built, so we'll see if we can play it on our computer, assuming it doesn't struggle. So here's our finished game. We can exit the game. I'll show you now. So if we press exit, all it does is just closes the game completely. Now I need to go and see where I opened this. So here it is. So here's our Angry Zombies. So I'll launch it. Keeps launching on the wrong scene. So here's our game. So let's go ahead and play the game. So once we play the game, we get launched into our game, obviously. So let's go ahead and launch our skull, and that's get deleted. We still didn't figure out the the positioning of the levels, but that's fine. We'll probably figure that out in a later series if it comes up again. So let's go ahead and launch the skull into that. So there we go. That's fine, and we can launch our final skull into our TNT block. It looks like it. So, and then after a few seconds, our game over panel gets displayed. So that's working nicely, and obviously you can go back to the main menu and restart it from there. So yeah, that's working fine. So I think, yeah, so that's it for this game series. I think this was series 3. So finally it's finished. It only took about 9 episodes. So hopefully the rest of them in the future take less time. I'll plan them. Hopefully I'll plan them better so they only take about 4 or 5 episodes. But we'll see. Our next series is obviously Flappy Bird, like I said, and that shouldn't take too long. There's only a few things we have to do. I'm just busy getting ready all the assets and stuff for that game, so hopefully that will start in the next 2 days, I think. So hopefully the next episode will come out on, what's today, Tuesday, so the next episode should come out on Thursday. But tomorrow is another tutorial. I can't remember what tutorial. I haven't made the video yet, but I'll make that tomorrow. But yeah, if you enjoy these videos, please go ahead and like the videos, and obviously subscribe to the channel if you want to see some more videos. But yeah, for now that is it. So I hope you enjoyed this game series, and I hope you look forward to the next one. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. So bye.